How old is he again?
He'll be 2, and I think like we got him at whatever we were allowed to get him at in like
Okay.
late December. So he'll probably be like 2 in November or so.
Okay. Went to formal puppy training,
Mm-hmm.
mostly food-based, right?
Yeah.
What he has on is a martingale, but it's a hidden prong collar. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. I thought it's the smaller diameter, the 2.25.
Yeah.
Okay. So realistically, need to go up to a 3 millimeter. And the martingale that you have, which is that nylon strap, it can bind. If it binds when it's giving constriction, it's not good.
Okay.
Gives constant punishment, even if behavior's changed, then you're going to have this association to the collar, which is improper. So we have approaching dog, right?
Let him keep doing this.
I want to see what you normally do to get it to stop.
What he does.
What do you do to get it to stop, though?
For a while, I would hold him back. Now I've been letting him go to the other dog.
Okay.
Hey, hey. Hey. Finn. So if I can get him to look at me,
Come on back.
if I can get him to look at me, he'll start doing this high-pitched squealing.
Okay. You used to hold him back, is that right?
I used to.
And as of lately, you've started to let him go towards the other dog.
If I know the other dog, and then he'll kind of like sniff him and then forget about it.
Okay. So here's my thought. The prong collar is the wrong size. I can't really tell exactly how it's made, but some of the hidden collars, they're 3 or 4 inches apart, right? Same dog, different dog.
See, the tail's kind of wagging, but now it's getting like violent. Hear
Yeah.
that? Like,
Pull him this way for me. Okay, bring him on back.
hey,
Bring him on back. That tail that's flagged like that, that's what both of my working dogs used to do as they were biting somebody on purpose, that they were trained to do, okay? The restraint here and the taut leash with an improper fit collar, likely, doesn't have enough consequence to it.
okay.
And holding them back, I think it's likely a little bit load bearing because the collar's just not really it's not effective.
Okay.
A different prong collar, different technique, but letting him go forward is reinforcement.
Okay.
Okay? He wants to go forward, right?
Yeah.
So, much like if you got a car full of kids and you're driving to the circus and they start acting up, and maybe it was like a couple generations ago that mom and dad would turn around and say, if you guys don't stop it, we're turning this car around, we're not going to the circus, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other dog's a circus. He's acting out. You're letting him go forward to the circus.
Yeah. Do you see the hypersensitivity that he starts generating after now 2 or 3 dogs? He'll start getting this like heavy breathing and
Yeah, of course.
get a little more out of control.
Of course. So, in that tail being flagged, we have some other videos. The tail is flagged as well. It does say a lot, but this almost hyperventilating right here, we want to knock all of that down as well. So, remote collar, you have used it some, but maybe doing it yourself, questioning the timing.
Questioning. Yeah.
Questioning the timing.
And then I didn't feel comfortable anymore because even with high power on it, he was so out of control it wasn't working because I didn't know how to use it.
Okay. What I saw was he gets to the end of the leash, and I know we're discussing it, but kind of waited until he was almost red line out of control before you tried anything.
Yeah.
Is that the same with the remote collar too?
So before,
Rather than noticing a buildup of intensity, using the remote, you waited till he got kind of out of control, and then you were just chasing behavior and just couldn't do much with it, right?
I would have him controlled, and then he'd start doing like, ew, ew, ew. And then like he would just start getting more and more out of control,
Yeah.
and then it didn't matter what power, and then it was just like I felt like I couldn't control him anyway.
Yeah.
And that was the same when I started. When this behavior started, I had a prong on him that you saw,
Yeah.
and I would give him that like negative, obvious yank. He
Mm-hmm.
would kind of sit and be startled and correct, but then he'd start getting so worked up that
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't I'd have to keep got to the point where
Yeah.
I was out of control.
So we want to teach you through disassociating from punishment, proper use of remote collar, proper guidance with the leash, a proper fit prong collar, proper size, starting early to interrupt some of that behavior,
Okay.
that you're then able to stop it before it really gets out of control. Okay? So we add elevation and balance. Elevation can be walking upstairs. That's balancing as well because they're paying attention to where they're going, not what is so distracting or triggering behavior left and right. Okay? We're not going to throw you in the mix right away, but that's how we're going to do some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if you're applying leash guidance, correct prong collar, remote stimulation done correctly, on until behavior changes, off, and we're going to go through all that. Elevation, balance, in motion drills, then you can start taking some of those away. You take away the balance part of the drill. Still use in motion, but you don't need to be going upstairs all the time. All right? You can take away some of the elevation. And then you work towards tapering off from in motion drills to stationary drills. Your dog can't behave when you're walking and changing direction and taking him away from a triggering effect. All right? Because he needs correction, not the other dogs.
Oh, sure.
Dogs in passing, okay? And this has happened here since we've been standing here. Dogs in passing, they're just walking. He starts to act up. Those dogs keep on walking because they're walking through the park. He thinks he scared them away. That is the opposite of how we're going to train.
Okay.
But we do it in control groups with group, and there are clients that know exactly what behavior you're going through because they're going through it together. They start private lessons, they go to group lessons, and then we start triggering it on purpose. It's controlled, it's choreographed. You very much enter into a, if this happens, then I do this. And everybody's working the same way.